Hello and welcome to the Gothic Unicorn. Today I could take these cute little pom-poms and turn them into an even cuter Easter bunny. But that really would not be the Gothic Unicorn style. So instead we're going to make an Easter bunny trap. I'll also be showing you how to make a more detailed set of bunting to go with your miniature scene. So let's get started. I am going to begin by making an Easter bunny trap. Now I've seen online some beautiful little pots with a bunny butt sticking out of them, and they're really cute and they're great little decorations, but to be fair, it's not really the sort of thing that my family would be having in their house. So I thought, how could I adapt that? And I got to thinking about an Easter bunny trap. We have had threats of traps for Santa in the past, but never for the Easter bunny, because we don't really do the Easter bunny that much in the UK. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to start off with some recycled food packaging. I've also got this little plastic pot. Now this is actually out of a bigger set of packaging, but I saw them sticking up while this packaging was waiting to go into the recycling and thought I can do something with that. So I'm going to use that as a bit of a pot in my trap. And I'm also going to use some coffee stir sticks, skinny craft sticks, if you can't get the proper coffee stir sticks. I actually bought a box of these off eBay a couple of years ago, and I've got thousands of them. And it didn't cost a lot of money, but they really do go a long way. I've started by making myself a bunny butt. This is a couple of pom-poms stuck together, but this is going to give me the size for making my little piece. And I've also cut my little plastic cup down. Now I've cut it down like this because then I can still use the bottom, because heaven forbid I should waste anything. And I'm going to actually display it, I've got a bit of card here, at a bit of an angle, so it's going to stick up a bit like that. Now I could have cut it, I'm going to trim it off a bit better than this, so it fits a bit better, but also I'm going to build up around the back of it, because that is also going to be part of the scenery of my trap. I have painted my cut down pot. I hadn't got any terracotta paint, so I went for a red and then I covered it with some light brown, and I think it looks okay. And I've made a fake bump in the ground for it to sit in out of some air dry clay. I just sort of squished it around a bit to the sort of size that I wanted, and then pushed my pot lid in. And I think that's going to look sort of effective once it's all painted up and on its base. Now I've made a base out of 2 layers of cereal box board, and as you can see that fits nicely on there. Now the base may well be trimmed down some more, but I've sort of given it bigger than I need because I haven't made the actual trap part yet. Now if anybody has noticed the interesting colours on my hand, I actually had a little incident about a week ago where I bashed the back of my hand and it caused me significant pain and a little bit of a wound. But it's more than that, it's caused some really interestingly coloured bruising. So I just thought I'd address that, because I realised that it must look quite vivid under the lights that I'm working under. Now, before I glue this to this, I'm going to build my actual trap, which is going to be a wooden crate made out of the coffee stir sticks. So that's my next step. This is the crate that I've made out of my coffee stir sticks. Now it is actually rather bigger than a 1/12 scale crate should be, But I figure that for the purposes of this trap, this is something that somebody has knocked together. I'm going to carry on by painting this with some nice spring-like colours. Not the usual colour scheme for this particular property that this is going to go with, but I think it'll work with the idea that they are trying to lure the Easter Bunny in. I have also done some more work on the base. Now, I have added more air dry clay to my base, and I have cut the cardboard down. So it's now a size that I'm quite happy with for the sort of feature that I want this to be. Now again, I'm going to paint this, probably I'm just going to use a bit of brown paint at the bottom, and then I'm going to add some moss and things to make it look a bit more natural, and we will take it from there. I have painted my crate. I've done it quite bright, as you can see, and I've even marked it up as an Easter Bunny trap, and that will be stuck into place quite soon onto my quite upgraded base. Now, I started off by painting this brown, then I added some soil using dried tea leaves, which I apply with some acrylic glue and then coat with a little bit of matte Mod Podge, because I didn't want it to be green everywhere. The green is moss that is available from craft stores, and I simply rub it up so that I get lots of finer pieces, and then I again glue it in place using an acrylic glue. And I've added some of my punched flowers in sort of suitably spring-like colours. That is basically my base, which makes for quite a pretty piece, and I haven't filmed it because, to be fair, there were some really long drying times involved, and I kept forgetting to set the camera up and get it running. But hopefully at least you get the idea of what I've done with my base piece. And here we have my completed Easter Bunny trap. The Easter Bunny gets lured into the part-buried pot by a large quantity of chocolate mini eggs, which you can see around here. Obviously somebody liked the white and yellow ones. And then the cord gets pulled out and the crate falls down on the Easter Bunny. At least that is the idea. This is my, quite frankly, bit of silliness for the season. And whilst the colours are not normally my choices, I think in this case they work. I want to actually show you a more complicated way of making bunting today. Now, as opposed to my usual methods, which either include making something on the computer and just cutting it out, or cutting things out with dies, this one needs a bit more work. Now, I start off with downloadable images off the internet. Now, these are the kind of things that you would pick up for kids to colour. This time of year, you know, there's loads of them about. Lots of sites have got free downloads, you know, design your own Easter egg, design your own bunny, whatever it is. And so what I did was I selected a few images. Now, I selected a plain egg, a decorated egg, and I selected a bunny. Now, these here were my my sort of colour palette, ignoring the pink one. The pink one, no. But I decided to go with a sort of pastel, a springtime version of the kind of traditional Halloween colour palette. So I've got an orange, a purple and a green. But the next step is to colour in your blanks. Now, I've got one of my bunnies coloured in here using alcohol marker in the orange colour that I selected. Now, as you'll see, my printer is not very good on colour matching, and this was done on a laser printer, which won't take the thicker material that I wanted to make the bunting with, but it's given me a more browny colour, but it works. So So that's what I did. I decorated the eggs and I decorated the bunnies. Now, I did do the eggs, honestly. It's just that I had to cut the one out to lose some of the writing that was on there from where it had originated, because I then scanned them into my computer and I reduced them in size in Word. Now, I just used Word. I didn't use Photoshop. I literally just used Word and the copy and paste function. I got the pieces that I wanted to the size that I wanted. These are approximately a half an inch high, and they are proportionally sized. I just used the proportion thing in the picture format menu, and I printed out all these. Now, this is just my my sort of quick copy on ordinary copier paper, because I then printed it out onto 160 GSM cardstock, which is what I like to use for a lot of my miniature things, because it's stiffer, so it holds a fold and that kind of thing, but it's still thin enough that it works at 1/12 scale. Now, I cut all my pieces out using my paper trimmer, and the other important thing I did, you can see on these, I put in a fold line so that I could fold it over and stick it over the cord of my bunting. Now, I've just got these 3 pieces that are still stuck together. Actually, from that sheet that I printed out, I have got more than enough to do 2 strands of bunting at the size that I've done, and I'm really pleased with that. I arranged all my pieces into a repeated pattern that I like the look of, and then I stuck them all over a string which is made of some of this invisible mending thread. It's a nylon thread, very similar to fishing line. You can get it either for invisible mending, or also you can buy it with jewellery making supplies. And that is how I have made my far more professional looking bunting. You can use any images you want, but I've obviously used eggs and bunnies because Easter. And here we have my finished Easter bunny trap and my pretty Easter bunting displayed on the front of my doll's house. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, bye.